Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Player 2 review discussion. My name is Matt Houston, and I'm here with the legend, the myth, the magical person that is Jess and Matt. How are you,
Hello.
Jess?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good, and I'm sure everyone watching on video can tell. If you got it on the podcast, you probably can't, but we're talking Saints Row. We have both been playing the Saints Row reboot. No longer the Third Street Saints, just simply the Saints. And I'm speaking for myself here, and I think I know what Jess is going to say, but it's pretty darn fun.
Chaotic, but God, the best kind of chaos.
Yeah, absolutely. So Josh, you're a good chunk, 30-odd% through. I'm about getting close to the end of the story now as we do this discussion. How are you feeling so far about Saints' return / reboot?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like after how the last one ended, like finishing off with just like it was getting bigger and bigger with every installment in the series, and like aliens and superpowers and singing devils, and like it was all really just escalating, and I was like, literally, where the hell are they gonna go from here? So I feel like I'm such a chunk in, and I still can't tell if it's like more absurd, less absurd, just different absurd, I think. But like it's funny. It's
Very funny.
hilarious game. And it's just fun. It's just huge, like I don't know, bombastic, sort of like ridiculous fun.
Yeah, I did explain that it was very much in the Naked Gun style of
Yeah.
humour.
Yeah.
Now it seems very much fair in its laughs. There is no punching down at all that I could
No.
have come across any situation where someone's been teased for who they are or what they believe in or what they find fun. Everything's laughing with people, and it just makes it such a joyous experience. It's still a very adult game. There is no way to let the kids play this game, but
No.
it is joyous and fun, and the writing is just like the dialogue between the main four characters is just perfect. I honestly, the way they interact, I think it's just wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like such a sense, just kind of right from the get-go of like, these people are so close, they love each other, they would do anything for each other.
Yes.
And like, in the world of Saints Row, literally anything. Like, it really just, nothing is off limits. And it's like, yeah, like you said, it's so adult, but it's also like weirdly wholesome, because there's just like this weirdly, really nice kind of vibe between the four of them, and yeah, this really like, be yourself, love what you love, and like it's all fine.
Yep.
And also, so is murder. Like it's really strange, but yeah, it's an open-mindedness in kind of all senses of the word. I think it's unique to this series. I think.
I think so, and I think some of the best moments are you just driving around with these characters in the car and them just talking about how they get along. I've chosen the British female voice as my main voice, and it is just I just love it and it seems like there's different interactions with the characters depending on the voice as well. Because
really?
they actually made jokes about your boss character having the British female voice bringing Marmite flavored chips to a party, things like that. But the lines, I can do stealth, and then one of them replied, said, "Well, the last time you did, you tried to open a beer with a hand grenade or something."
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm just giggling the whole way through. Just my wife keeps saying, "What are you laughing at? A video game." And yeah, it's so much fun. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, you get it done on the way. There's obviously an open world. It's not changing the formula in any way, but it has gotten bigger, I feel.
Yeah, it's huge. I feel like every time I take on a story mission and I'm like, okay, now I'm really going to focus on the story, I'm going to go through this. Like, every single one introduces a new mechanic in the open world that just distracts me again for another, like, 5 hours. Whether it's, like, we need to recruit more saints, or we need to, like, start business ventures, or, protect this turf, like, just constantly new things being introduced, and, when you kind of think that there can't be any more, like, this has got to be it just grows and grows.
It grows again. Every new side hustle is fun too. Like I think some of the businesses, some of the early ones are a bit. There's a toxic waste one that was a bit boring. I thought it was just kind of driving a truck with toxic waste and not crashing. But then as it goes, some of them just get wild. The laundromat missions where you're basically cleaning up crime scenes for the Saints is fun and there's a whole host of these different jobs that you do. The rooftop rides where you're helping an old lady stitch up her husband and steal from him, and because he's a cheater, and it's all these sort of odd side missions that you help, and you feel like you're a good person for doing these horrible things.
Yeah. You're like a self-proclaimed like murder machine, I think is what you call yourself. There's one where you're off doing like a recruitment mission, and your teammates are kind of watching you, and one of them's like, wow, I guess that's what it means to be good at murder, and they're just kind of watching you murder people through this screen. I know like a bunch of your personal favorite missions, which I am only just getting started on, are the LARPing ones.
The LARPing missions, they're just, and then once again that joyous of not picking on people for what they like, and so one of the characters is a LARPer, and this kind of LARP situation is almost like a Mad Max style LARP in the Saints Row world, and it's just so fun to watch all the Saints characters slowly get dragged into LARPing and becoming these mad LARPers, and they've got like Nerf shotguns to shoot people with, and every now and then your character starts going pew pew as it shoots the gun, and it's just so good, and it's so fun. I don't think I've ever found a game that treats all these, idiosyncrasies of humans in a way that the Saints does, just so lovingly, I feel, about everything. One of the highlights for me so far is the ongoing joke about how all the characters talk about the DJ's long line of partners that he's had. I liked him, or I liked her. No, she was a bit of a bitch.
They're like, oh, maybe I'll get back in contact with her if this whole no, she's probably gotten back together with Melissa. So like all of these partners also have their own like sordid histories. So good.
For the gameplay side of things, it's tight. It's very arcadey. Driving is a lot of fun because of the drift button that obviously makes no physical sense in any way, shape, or form to actually how cars work, but it makes it work in Saints Row.
Not the biggest logic leap in the game, I don't think.
No, the gameplay, the gunplay is pretty tight for the most part. You feel a little underpowered to start with, but once you've unlocked some upgrades and some new weapons and some special moves like throwing a hand grenade down someone's pants and launching them at people, it becomes quite a good mix of melee and shooting people. How'd you find that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when I started, it was so easy to forget those extra abilities, and I kind of wasn't utilizing them at all. But then I discovered the joy of shoving a hand grenade down someone's pants and just yeeting them into a crowd of enemies, and I think it really changed things up. I also like the strategy of just getting into a car and then just driving through the middle of firefights. Also a personal favorite.
That's a Saints Row classic technique.
I feel like if anything in this one, they've gotten better at jumping out of the way. Like I used to really but now they see me coming. It's
they really want you to get out and engage. Yeah, which is good because it works well. I think the gunplay is really quite tight, and there's a nice amount of lock on. You don't want to be ridiculously overpowered with lock on, but it just seems to be that right balance for a third person game to keep the action flowing and keep it fun without ever being frustrating.
Definitely the right amount of lock on and then adjust. Lock onto it, find where they are in the environment, and then it's kind of up to you to
you to get the headshots and things like that. And each gun and car has its own set of challenges that you can do to unlock special special like ammo or special abilities for the car. For example, one shotgun gives you bleeding damage if you upgrade it. magnum rounds on the pistol that makes enemies fall backwards as they get hit, things like that, and does a bit of splash damage. So that's a little challenge that you can do from, getting 10 headshots with this gun, or things like that you find in games. There's a lot of little checklists there for people that are completionists to go through.
Yeah.
That's
Sideswipe X amount of cars in, this gun, and you can go off-road better. Like, it's,
Yeah, they're not necessary, but they're fun little things. And I've found most of the time I've done them just by playing the game, not by going out of my way to chase them down.
Yep.
On the PC, I'm playing on PC and you're on PC as well.
Yep.
We're playing a pre-release copy, so I want to say that now there are some rough edges I've found in the game. There's a few launching issues, which I have a feeling is more than likely just the press copy that we've got because it's early release. But in the game, I've had a few, graphical drop-ins, drop-outs. I'm playing on a ultra high-end PC, and even then, I've had some pop-in textures and things like that. One hard crash I think I've had. Once again, all these things could be fixed in a day one patch, but they are worth mentioning that there is a little bit of a rough edge on things as you go around the town.
Yeah, my character loads in naked for longer than I would like them to. Yeah, but I mean there are options for that and for different kinds of censorship around your naked character, so
Yes.
get a good look at that customization, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it's a little rough in places.
A little rough in places. Hopefully that will be fixed quickly. I think it will. I have a feeling a day one patch will address a lot of it. It definitely feels like a press release issue for the most part. Speaking of the character customization and all the customization options,
yes,
there's a few.
There's some, yeah. It's just like a little bit of time spent customizing characters. Yeah, you can customize everything, like the cars, your headquarters, your boss. Like it's
Your guns.
your guns. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much to play with in every part of this game, and it's so inclusive. Like the series is known for that, for its approach to gender and body types, and just kind of being able to be who you want to be without weird constraints put on there. And it's great. It's I love it. Like, I guess I had high expectations for this because of the series history. But it definitely didn't disappoint, doesn't it?
No. And one of the things I really love, it's become a little bit of a trend, definitely more recently. The first time I noticed it was Forza Horizon 5, but Saints does it as well with prosthetic limbs.
Yes.
That's a fantastic addition. And like honestly, it's kind of cool, right? You look like a cool badass with prosthetic legs or arms, and I find that sort of stuff super cool. That everyone gets to create, even if you don't need a prosthetic arm in real life. Why not? It's a video game.
Yeah, exactly.
The big excitement for this game is being your own boss, and they really run with it.
Yep. Yeah. Any step towards making it more inclusive, and maybe you want to be able to see yourself in a game and you kind of haven't been able to do that before, and so steps like this are super important. The series is very, very good at it.
I think so too, and I think with this one they've finally found that balance. The Saints Row 3 had a few jokes that are off now. They feel off now. They were borderline then, and I think it used to try to kind of ride that line between offensive and hilarious. This game doesn't seem to feel the need to do that at all. It just knows that absurdity and welcoming to everyone is a great combination, and I think they've done such a wonderful job with it all. I'm really enjoying it, and as a video game reviewer, I look at it and go, yes, there's problems with some of these things. There's glitches here or there. There's some boring gameplay, open worldy stuff, but none of it seems to matter because it's just so much fun being with these characters.
Yeah, the relationships really carry it, particularly at the beginning, and I think. To kind of touch on what you were saying a second ago, that did used to straddle that line, like really, it used to really kind of cross over into some iffy territory. But now the humor is in the absurdity, and it's in like the weird juxtaposition of it. Like you're 1 second you're this huge murder machine, like larger than life, killing all of these people, and then the next it's like, wow, this person's just like you, and they're having a bad day, and they're struggling to toast a waffle.
Yeah.
Like it's so ridiculous. Like it's just But as you've said a bunch of times, there's not punching down. There's just this like I don't know how they managed to do it, but
it's just pitch perfect writing, and the voice work from all the characters is wonderful too. There's a character that turns up for a lot of the game called the Nuali, who, look, if he isn't Robert Rodriguez, sorry, not Robert Rodriguez, Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
It is the voice that we never heard before, because honestly, I keep expecting him to turn up with a guitar case dressed as a mariachi, you know. So
I'm not going to be surprised if it is him. If not, I hope this person is getting work voicing characters also played by Antonio Banderas.
They've only listed the known characters, I guess. So maybe it's a reveal for launch day. We'll find out.
I hope so. Fingers crossed. Honestly,
just makes it cooler if it is Antonio Banderas. Is there anything else you want to talk about with Saints before we finish off here?
I feel like we should probably touch on the co-op before we go. Because that's kind of new for this series.
It used to have co-op, but it wasn't as easy to do before. Very simple now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there's not heaps to say about it, but it is simple. It's fun to be able to kind of do missions, like even story missions and stuff with friends, and there are a couple of extra elements that they have in co-op that make it sort of extra fun, like the pranking system that they have. So when you're playing with someone else, if you get given these tasks, and if you complete them, then you can perform pranks on your friends. And they're just like ridiculous things. Like you can prank someone by turning them into a cactus, and then all they can do is be a cactus, and like you just hop around the world as a cactus, and you can go driving. Like you could just drive with a passenger cactus in your car. Like it's just ridiculous stuff, and lots of room for like shenanigans, I think.
Yes, I think the whole map is set up for shenanigans.
Yes, very much.
And I think the other cool thing that we forgot to mention is the new the wingsuit. Very, very Just Cause-ish. Although unlike Just Cause, instead of using a grappling hook to keep going, you target someone on the ground and spin off their shoulders. So just some random pedestrian becomes your trampoline.
So perfectly Saints Row. Just
it's really fun.
Yeah, it makes the gameplay more like I think mine was in Saints Row 4, because I had all these stupid powers. I would just launch through the city, and you can kind of do that here.
Yes.
So it's cool.
And insurance fraud is back for everyone that's ever played a Saints Row game. So it's just the same as it always was, and it's still just as fun.
Yeah. Bigger, better, and I think more inclusive, but just as fun.
Just as fun. I think that's the whole deal here with Saints Row. It's absolutely a Saints Row game. So for people that were worried from the reboot, without the characters, and honestly, I didn't miss Johnny Gat. I didn't miss Shaundy. This new bunch
is better.
They're just as lovable. They're a great bunch of people. Despite the mass murder. Really
it's just a special skill.
Yeah. Swearing in Spanish is hilarious to me because I understand it and I recognize things I hadn't heard since I lived in South America. So that was very cool and very authentic of them to do that. And, it's a lot of fun, and I'm smiling just even thinking about it. I'm actually going to buy this on the Xbox as well and just sit and like 100% this game. I think it's going to be a game I'm just going to play for a long time.
Yeah, I feel the same.
Yeah.
It's so easy to just spend time in this world.
Yeah.
So easy.
Just a joy.
Yeah. Absolute joy.
That's it for Saints Row from us. It's out this week. You'll be able to read my review when you're watching this video. It'll be up. Assuming that I didn't get COVID or something and not be able to finish it, which is a high possibility in this modern day.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
But Jess, where can we find you? What have you got cooking and all that jazz?
You can find me on Twitter at Jess. It'll be listed on this picture. And you can find all my reviews at play2.net.au. And what have I got cooking? Not a lot right now, but I'm sure something will pop up soon. Until then, I'm just going to be absolutely playing Saints Row until I have to do something else.
You have to do something else. You can find me at Tuesday Run or at Play2AU, of course. And I'll have Saints Row review up and along with a couple other reviews this week. It's a very busy week, so make sure you check it all out. And we'll catch you on the next review discussion. Bye.
See you later.